First of all, I would like to, on behalf of the Council of Ministers, once again extend our deepest sympathy to the family of Samuel Allen, well-known radio personality and owner and operator of his own online news site. I've known Venus Samuel for many years and have grown to know him as one of the persons in the media that you enjoy working with. He never put any, at least in my case for sure not, he never put any pressure on you. If he called you for what he considered breaking news and you were not in a position to make a statement at that time or indicated you would not, he would respect that. If you share something with him in confidence and tell him, hold on to it, release it on Monday, but this is what is developing, you would never, ever see him sneak up on you and inform in some way, shape, form, or fashion anything to get ahead of anybody else. He was one who really reported the news and was not in the business of creating false rumors, let them live their own lives, and then put the politician or government or an individual, private or not, in the position of defending what he thought should be something the people should be aware of. My last discussion with him actually was on election day, when I was asked what time I will be voting, and I indicated probably around 10 o'clock. Never confirmed it, and he was one who was there seemingly ever since then. And when I came, said, you know, I would never leave here without seeing you. And he actually took the lead among the reporters that were there in asking the questions, always in his jovial and professional way. We oftentimes joked about, you know, his health condition, and I would tell him, work on it, and he says, yes, I am. And I said, yes, you're working on getting bigger. It is unfortunate that we lost a good man, a decent man, a very valuable asset to the media world on St. Martin, to PJD2 in particular. And I'm sure you know, he will leave a void behind, which, knowing some of the people there, they will, you know, manage to fill it as time go by. But again, on behalf of government, but also on behalf of myself and my family, our deepest sympathy to him, and in a special way also, I would like to extend sympathy to his friend Gromiko Wilson, who took it very, very hard and called me at one point, actually weeping on the phone, asking if we couldn't do something to get SZV to fly him out before it was too late. I did, as always, contact SZV, but their hands are tied in the sense that it's the medical doctor that has to make the referral. SZV can't just get up and call an air ambulance and make arrangements to fly somebody out. There must be a medical referral or a medical report to substantiate that. We have lost a great personality, and we are confident that his legacy will live on for many years.
Life is a journey full of connections. You're in safe hands even when life starts too soon. You don't have to miss a single beat. When a bad hair day makes you sad, just sharing can bring you joy and more to come. They take the plunge, turn fear into faith, while you capture those beautiful moments. In the game of life, it's family that counts. They'll be there even when you lose. We all have our moments of reflection and hope. And when you feel you're losing everything in life, we're there because there's more to come. When life starts too soon, you don't have to miss a single beat. We're here to connect you and share life. Telcel, when you want more.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Need a loan that's quick and easy. Island Finance. Up to 50,000 guineas really easy. Island Finance. For education, a renovation, that's no problem. Yes, it's true. That's not all. They're quick and friendly too. Island Finance. Appliances, vacations, even fix your car. You can depend on Island Finance.
These are the doors that never close. These are the hands that make a difference. These are the walls that could tell countless stories of helping and healing, of storms weathered, of change and growth, of a place where life begins, where hearts are mended, and where hope grows stronger. For more than a quarter of a century, the physicians, medical professionals, and staff of St. Martin Medical Center have combined advanced medical technology and compassionate care to bring a world of medicine to our friends, neighbors, and visitors to the island of St. Martin we all call home. As proud as we are of what we have accomplished, we believe there is still much work to do to continue a proud tradition of providing everyone in our community with the latest technology, the best medicine, and the most exceptional care. St. Martin Medical Center, celebrating 25 years of serving, caring, healing.
I'd really like to thank the Democratic Party for giving me an opportunity to serve the country as Minister of VSR for the past 10 months. It's been a pleasure working together with my fellow ministers. And I think that in the past 10 months, we've managed to accomplish so much that I'm very proud of. And I think that it's important that part of my job as minister is to ensure that the progress that has been secured for the country in the past 10 months is make sure that it continues with the next and subsequent government. And so I'm planning on a very public handover of the ministry. I will do a very in-detail report in terms of what we've done as ministry, also in terms of what are some of the opportunities going forward, what are some of the risks going forward, and so really making a very deliberate effort to make sure that the transition is as smooth as possible. For those of you who remember, for example, when I came in as minister, there wasn't even a computer, and so trying to make sure that now that there's a proper transition so that when a new minister of VSR comes in, that he can hit the ground running, because I believe that that's the right thing for the country. We've done as much as we can to secure the new hospital, to secure national health insurance and to secure labor reform. And I will do all that's within my power to make sure that the progress that's been made is smoothly transitioned over to a new government. Again, I'd like to thank the people. I've had a wonderful time. I've enjoyed this past 10 months a lot. I've learned so much, and it's been my honor to serve the country.
Oh my, what an inventory list, and so unnecessary. But wait, your home contents are all insured by Be Sure. That means that you determine the amount you want to insure. No inventory list, no hassle.
Are you be sure? Be sure.
Bob, I can understand why you're parking so carefully. Of course, when you can get 80% discount on your Be Sure car insurance. But that's overdoing it, Bob.
Are you be sure? Be sure.
Yeah.
We've had the elections, we've had the election results, and I did so before, but I would like to, again, personally thank all those persons who have placed their confidence in me, all of those persons who have voted for the party that I lead, but also all of those persons who came out and exercised their democratic right, the right to vote or the right to remain silent. Like one person who told me that they deliberately spoiled their ballot, I told them, well, at least for the next 4 years, I don't expect to hear from you. You have forfeited your right to decide whether we should go left, right, or center. And anyone who refuses to participate in the election process de facto has silenced themselves because you have left it up to others to decide the direction government should take or what government should be in place. I was appointed by the Governor General as the formateur. The process has started. The two parties have received all the documentation needed for the ministers, the candidate ministers to fill out. The target is that by on Friday this week, all the documentation will be handed in to the governor, to the VDSM, and to the public prosecutor. The governor is charged with the process, but there are two entities that play a vital role in the process, which are the national security that does the screening and the public prosecutor's office that does the judicial screening which is not much of a screening in the sense that they don't carry out an investigation, but a report on if the person has any criminal record, if the person is under any investigation, whether here or elsewhere. There are also other documentation that every candidate minister has to submit as part of the screening, which is a CV, bank accounts. They have to declare whatever assets they have in excess of 20,000 guilders, that kind of thing. So it takes a while to accumulate the information and to actually evaluate the information. The target is that by October 27th, that process will be completed and the swearing in can then take place simultaneously in the afternoon, in the morning, members of parliament, and hopefully the Council of Ministers the same afternoon of October 31st. The two parties have also come together, have exchanged their manifestos, and the process is being worked on to come to a governing program. And just like was the case with the formation of Red, White, and Blue, we hope, like in 2014, to have a fully detailed, worked out governing program by the 27th, so that that too can be submitted along with the with the report of the formateur in completion of my task as formateur, and hopefully then the swearing in will follow on the 31st of October. In terms of developments in government, we have had the opening, the moving of the Council of Ministers to the new administration building. It is somewhat getting used to the location. The office, it's like you hit the ground running in terms of functioning in the office, but with part of the support still being in this building and other buildings, you feel somewhat at times disconnected because I can run downstairs and book in a document or run downstairs and get a document. Now you literally have to, cross the street or send somebody across the street to get it. Preparations are being made for the next phase in members of the organization moving to the building. It will take some time still before it is all completed. Work is diligently being carried out. On the outside, the travertine tiles for the wall, they have arrived just a few days. I think actually it was the day or 2 days before we had the opening, and the wall on the outside, the fence, that is being completed, and more infrastructure work is being carried out on the outside, while on the inside, we still have some work to do. So it is challenging for the ministers and their staff as they have to still endure some of the inconvenience that go along with construction, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks, months, it will be a completed job. After waiting 8 years, I think it is worth the wait if we go an extra 8 weeks, so to speak, to get it all in place. Persons living in the St. Peter's area are going through some discomfort these days as there's a detour coming out of St. Peter's and entering St. Peter's. You can no longer use the main road, and the access to the academy school is also closed off. This because the announcement that we made a couple of weeks ago that a contract was signed with a contractor to do the connection of the main sewage line in St. Peter's to the main line going to the sewage plant. That has been that is now being completed, because when the work was done several years ago, the line was never hooked up to the main sewage line that goes to the sewage plant. With this project now, which because of the school vacation, we were able to put it in this week. And if you pass now by St. Peter's, by the Academy School there by the former Chic supermarket, you would see a trench several feet deep. That is where that line will be buried. Traffic cannot use it, cannot use that road now, but people will be extremely happy in the St. Peter's area because now the connections from the different homes can take place, and actually the process now to eliminate sewage water from running on the surface of St. Peter's different roads will be something of the past.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
1,
2,
3,
4. This is how common it is to develop a mental illness. 1 out of every 4.
4,
4.
4. But there is hope. Today, most mental illnesses can be managed and treated. Visit your general doctor if you feel concerned about your thoughts and behaviors or have some difficulty dealing with some of life's issues.
If you have been diagnosed and are suffering from a mental illness, keep in mind these 4 points to help you manage your mental health.
1. Get regular checkups with your general doctor.
2. Stay on your treatment plan to prevent relapses.
3. Find a strong support group in your family and friends.
And 4. Never be afraid to ask for help and look out for the warning signs of your illness.
Remember, you are not alone. We are as close as one.
2.
3.
4.
Learn about mental health illness by going to the Mental Health Foundation's website at www.mhf-sxm.com.
A couple of weeks ago, don't quote me on a date, you mentioned you had a meeting with the French authorities, including Dr. Jeffrey, etc., where the Dutch side and the French side can work together. In the case of Mr. Allen, and I want to be specific in this case, did the St. Martin Medical Center, and this is if you know, because as a minister and that's a foundation, did you question them actually? Did they ever thought of, at least instead of sending Mr. Allen to Santo Domingo to see a neurologist, to at least cross the border and try to work with our French authorities, because we do have a neurologist on the French side, because taking him to Santo Domingo at least delayed the process for quite a number of hours until things can get rolling. And by taking him there, it actually deprived his bereaved wife and all of his friends and colleagues from spending the last moments with him until he transitioned. Do you know if the St. Martin Medical Center would ever consider working with their French counterpart where there is lacking of specialists here, but there is one just across the border?
Thanks, Bibi. Obviously, the questions regarding Samuel Allen, I can't comment on the specifics of his personal situation. I can comment about the discussions that have been ongoing since the time I've become minister about cooperation with the French side. As you know, there's a MOU, an agreement for cooperation between the two hospitals. This was part of the process in deciding what the new hospital for St. Martin should look like, because it depends a lot in terms of will there be some level of structured cooperation between the two sides. There actually was an agreement that was signed by all the parties, but then unfortunately the bureaucracy, once you enter into an agreement cross borders, it needs to go to Foreign Affairs, the governor needs to take a look at it. So from the process from the Dutch side, everything's been completed. It's then gone to the French side, to the ARS. But as soon as Foreign Affairs from Dutch side got involved, all of a sudden the document's been kicked up to Paris now for their comments and for their approval to sign the document. So unfortunately, this is one of the complications with cross-border agreements. I think in principle it's basically done. I don't see how the French government will have any issues with it, because it really is as simple as a handshake agreement to work together. There really are not, let's say, binding penalties or costs associated with the agreement. It really is about structured cooperation to exactly what you're talking about, synchronizing the health insurances and complementary care rather than competing services. So it just makes sense. It's unfortunately just the bureaucracy of government.